Hello, Flutter developers. Welcome back to another exciting widgets tutorial. Today we are taking a closer look at the slider widget, a versatile tool for capturing user input within a range. Stick around and let's build some amazing sliders together. What is a slider widget? The slider widget in Flutter is a material design component used for selecting a value within a specific range. It's perfect for scenarios like setting volume levels, brightness, or other adjustment options. Let's build one together. We'll be starting by creating a slider to select a value between 0 and 100. On my screen here, I have my void main method and my runapp method, which takes a stateless widget, which is my app, and my app returns a material app. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to come here and I'm going to be creating a stateful widget, and I'm going to name it slider example, and then just going to copy this. I'm going to replace this with it, and going to come inside here. Instead of returning a container, I'm going to be returning a scaffold, and let's give it an upper. Title is just going to be test widget, which is going to take slider widget example, and inside our scaffold I'm going to add a body, which is going to take a colon, and this takes children. And why am I using a colon? Because I want to show my slider and a test on top of my slider. So as I move the slider, the value of the slider change, and then it's show on the test which I have on my screen. So first thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to make use of the slider widget. This slider widget takes two properties. It takes value and unchanged. The value is going to be the initial value of our slider, while the unchanged is going to take a method that when we slide the slider widget, it captures whatever value we are on the slider, and then it's being displayed on our screen. So initially I'm just going to put 0 here, and then this is going to take a method, and this is going to take value, and then I'm just going to save this for now. And on the top of our screen here, we have our slider here. Let's bring this to the center of our screen. So I'm going to see the main axis alignment, and going to be making use of main axis alignment dot center. Let's save this. So if I come here now, I have my slider at the center of my screen. For now, I can't do anything on my slider, but because we set the initial value to 0 and we are not changing the value. So to be able to change the value, the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a variable here, underscore current value. Initial value is going to be 0. So instead of putting 0 here, I'm just going to change the 0 to this variable. And then I can come here. And since our value is going to be changing, I'm going to make use of set state. And then we can now say that current value equals to the new value that we're going to be passing. So what do we mean by this? Our unchanged here takes a function, and the function takes value as a parameter. Where does this value come from? When you move this slider, this value is being passed here, and then we are setting the value that is being passed here into our current value, and then we are changing whatever we have on the screen. So to change what we have on the screen, what we're basically going to be doing is that I'm going to be adding, I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to be adding a test widget. And the test widget is going to say selected value, and then we can simply say current value. Let's type this style, test style. I'm going to give it font size of 18 pixels and font weight dot bold, comma, and yeah. So let's save this now. Yeah, so you can see initially we have our selected value to be 0. So when I move this now, I see that the value is changing. So inside our slider, we have the property min. That's going to be the minimum value, which is 0, and it's always set at default to be 0.0. So I'm going to still leave it at 0 for now, and then we can make our max to be 100. So if we save this now, you can see if we move this now, you can see that our max is 100. Then another thing we can add is that we can add division. So my division, I'm just going to make it 10. So what do I mean by this? So if I make it 10, the first one is going to be 0, then 10, 20, 30, 40, and that. So let me save this. So if I move my slider now, you're going to see that we have 10, we have 20, we have 30, we have 40, 50, 60, and like that. So another thing we can do is that we can add a label to this. And what does this label mean? So let's add label, and then we can pass our current value. Our label takes, if you check here now, our label takes a string. So say this dot to string, and if we save this now, if I come here, you can see this. These are our label. So when you tap on this, when you're moving this, instead of, if you don't want to show the value as a text on your screen, you can add a label that when you move the slider widget, then the value shows on top of the slider widget. Here's a basic slider that updates its value dynamically. The division property breaks the range into discrete steps, and the label displays the selected value. Now let's customize the slider's appearance and behavior. And some of the things we can do is that we can come here and we can add properties like active color. So let's make use of colors dot red, and then you can add inactive color. You can say colors dot green, and also you can add temp color. Let's give this color dots. I'm probably using different colors so that when I save it, you can understand what active color means, inactive color, and temp color. So let's save this first and see. So now you can see when we say the active color simply means this aspect of the slider widget, while the inactive colors means this other side of the widget. The temp color is this circular object on our slider. So when I move this like this, we can see. So that's what the temp color means. And that's a wrap on the slider widget. From simple slider to fully customized design, this widget is an essential tool for user input. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Flutter content. See you in the next video.